iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office, it's open, my friends. All right, let's take a look at last night's game. And by the way, before we start reviewing the game, I just have to say a couple of words about Luke Kuechly. I love guys who love their sport, who it means so much to them that they don't take it for granted. I think so many people play sports and they don't give it 100%. And it's a shame because they're great athletes. I mean, I think of Jamarcus Russell, right? This guy was a great athlete, huge size, great arm, but he was a knucklehead. Luke Kuechly leaves that field and he's crying because he wants to be out there with his teammates. Now, I'm praying that he's going to be okay. I truly hope he is, and I hope he will never have to retire because of concussions. But man, that guy plays hard. That guy can play on my team anytime he wants. He's a leader and he's a winner. And let me tell you this, he's a Hall of Famer. Not yet, because he hasn't played in the league long enough. But if this guy plays longer, he's a Hall of Famer for sure. All right, so let's look at last night's game. Was it just me, or when it was like 23-13, did you say to yourself, I think the Panthers are going to blow this game? And they should have. I blame the New Orleans Saints. Bad play calling in the fourth quarter. It's like 6 minutes to go, and they're still running the ball to Tim Hightower. Are you kidding me? Really? Are you kidding me? So I had a lot right in yesterday's game, and I had a lot wrong. I was wrong about Cam Newton. I thought he'd be closer to 300 yards. He was only at 192 and a touchdown. I was right about a Jonathan Stewart touchdown, and I was right about Ted Ginn. I said Ted Ginn was going to make a play, and he did make a play, and he made a really nice play. Kelvin Benjamin, I thought, was going to lock for 100 yards. He only had 3 for 56, but a really big catch at the end of the game. Greg Olsen, I wanted more from him, 4 for 33. Come on, I need more from you, Greg Olsen. You're a 5th-round pick. It's week 11. I need more. Come on. For New Orleans, Drew Brees, 35 for 44, 285 yards, 2 touchdowns. But they fell in love with the run at the end. Mark Ingram leaves with a concussion. Tim Hightower, 12 for 69. I'm so angry at myself because in one of my leagues, in my auction league, I cut Tim Hightower. I did. I was so stupid. I don't know why I did it. I probably picked up some guy I didn't even need. I should have just kept Hightower with Ingram because I had Ingram. That was the right play. I should have done that. Very disappointing for me. Michael Thomas, 5 for 68, getting back to Hightower. He had 8 receptions for 57 yards. Mark Ingram, when he was there, 3 for 47. Brandon Cooks Roto, 7 for 42. Willie Snead, 4 for 33. But another guy I was right on, Kobe Fleener. What did I say? They like the Panthers don't cover the tight end that well. Fleener got a touchdown. So they're both 4 and 6. I mean, look, this is the Falcons' division to lose. Can one of these teams come up and sneak this division? Quite possibly. I don't see it, but it is possible that it could happen. All right, moving forward to Week 11, Pittsburgh at Cleveland. So let's just give you some nuggets from each game, things that you need to watch out for. First of all, in Cleveland, I think this is another game that the Cleveland Browns can win. And I think it's all going to come down to running the football. Can Isaiah Crowell run the football? Hugh Jackson's abandoned the run, and he knows he likes to run the football. Cameron Hayward is out. I think they're going to run the football more this week. I think they're going to get Corey Coleman more involved this week. I think Cleveland's got a legitimate chance. I think it comes down to Ben Roethlisberger and Le'Veon Bell. How good is Le'Veon Bell? And we know how good he is. But it's finding another target to go along with Antonio Brown. Is that Eli Rogers? Is that Ladarius Green? I don't know. But somebody else has to step up here. If Pittsburgh can find that third guy, Pittsburgh wins. If Cleveland can run the football and avoid that third guy from killing them, Cleveland might get lucky in this game. I don't give them more than a 30% chance, but for Cleveland, 30% is like 1,000,000% for somebody else. Just throwing that out there. Baltimore at Dallas. Look, I will never, ever tell you to fade Ezekiel Elliott. That just would be a bad life decision. I can tell you this is not a week he's going to go off. The Baltimore Ravens are a very good run defense, and they are going to commit to stopping Ezekiel Elliott. Okay? So I think this is a Dak Prescott week. If you think, like I do, that Dallas is going to win this game, and I do believe that, so we have to ask ourselves, where are they going to get their points from? Well, if I don't think they're going to get it from Ezekiel Elliott, they got to get it from Dak Prescott, Dez Bryant, and or Cole Beasley. So you have to look for the best matchups there, right? If we find the best matchups there, we'll be able to get that right. So what you want to do is you can look at the wide receiver cornerback matchups and ask yourself who has the best one here. And I'll say they all have a pretty rough one. I mean, Dez Bryant's going to see Jimmy Smith. Can Cole Beasley do well, like in the slot? I think so. That's probably where I would take advantage of. So I think Cole Beasley is a very sneaky start this week. Here, let me click that for you. I'm just throwing it out there as a guy who could make an impression, considering I think Dallas wins, but it won't be from the run game. Baltimore's in big trouble this week. I just don't think they match up well. Joe Flacco has been throwing the ball okay, not great. Dallas's defense has been tough. I don't know. I don't love Kenneth Dixon this week, but maybe he surprises. This could be a week that he plays well. I just don't love anybody for Baltimore. I'm just going to stay away from this team. Jacksonville and Detroit. I'm very interested in Theo Riddick this week. And I'm also very interested, quite possibly, in Marvin Jones. Okay? I think that the question is, who is Jalen Ramsey going to cover? Is it Tate or is it Jones? I don't know. I'm going to go whichever way Ramsey is because Amukamara knows what he's doing, but Jalen Ramsey, I think, is a little outclassed right now. So I think Detroit is good this week, but I think this is a Theo Riddick week. Jacksonville, very good against the tight end, so don't be all in on Eric Ebron. Jacksonville, very strong against the tight end. For Jacksonville, I cannot believe these words are coming out of my mouth, but in DFS, I believe that Blake Bortles is an interesting start. You cannot run on the Lions, but you can throw on the Lions. Hard with Darius Slay there, I would admit that. But the Lions have the worst slot cornerback possibly in the league. Quite possibly in the league. So the question, what's his name? Quandre Diggs, he stinks. Can they go to Allen Hurns this week? I don't know, but I'll tell you this. Bortles to Hurns might be a sneaky play that I'm willing to throw on one GPP flyer team. Might be willing to do that. And that's going to be a team where I just go expensive everywhere else, and I'll just throw those two guys in and pray, right? Because I know the slot guy is terrible. I know Hurns is going to be in the slot pretty much, and that's going to be the play that I'm going to make, right? That's going to be the play that I'm going to make. That seems to make the most sense to me. Hurns runs out of the slot, close to like 3/4 of the time. That seems to be worth it. For that. All right, next. Tennessee at Indianapolis, start your engines. Andrew Luck, T.Y. Hilton, Frank Gore, Dante Moncrief, Jack O'Doyle rules. All these guys are in play. Every single last one of them. It's going to be a high-scoring game. I could imagine that it wouldn't be. For Tennessee, Mariota playing at a very high level for him. DeMarco Murray, Rashad Matthews catching touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. Delaney Walker with possibly the best matchup I've ever seen. In cash games, if you did a Mariota, Walker, Luck, or conversely, if you went Luck, Hilton, Walker, I can't blame you for that. Smart. It's a good cash game play this week. So I would absolutely look there. Buffalo and Cincinnati. People seem to forget teams who are on bye. I don't forget teams who are on bye. I like Tyrod Taylor this week. I like LaShawn McCoy this week. I like Robert Woods this week. These are three guys who played very well. I'm not so into Percy Harvin, but maybe he makes a play, but I'm not buying into it. I'm just not. For Cincinnati, I'm just going to say this. First of all, I'm worried about A.J. Green. At the end of the last week's game, he looked a little bit injured. So I'm concerned. I'm concerned. So if he's injured, is this a Tyler Eifert week? I think it might be. Is it a Tyler Boyd week? Possibly. I'm just throwing it out there. Buffalo hasn't been very good in the secondary. Maybe there are guys that we need to look at. Maybe Brandon LaFell. Maybe Brandon LaFell could have a good week against Stephon Gilmore, who's been very, very sketchy this year. Very sketchy. All right? Tampa Bay at Kansas City. For Kansas City, I really like Spencer Ware. I do. He didn't play well last week, and I think people are going to feel burned by him. Oh, man, that guy Spencer Ware, he screwed me. All right, wasn't personal. He doesn't hate you. He doesn't even know you. But I think Spencer Ware could have a good week this week, and I'm in on him. I'm also in on Tyreek Hill if Jeremy Maclin is out. If Maclin is out, Hill is in my lineup in DraftKings 100%. 100% he's in. Tell you that right now. Like Kelsey, don't love him, but I like Kelsey this week. For Tampa Bay, I thought Doug Martin looked pretty good last week. Now, Martin's numbers don't reflect how good he looked. But they were winning that game. They played Peyton Barber. They didn't want to overwork Martin. But from what I saw, I liked it. So I think he's interesting. I really like Mike Evans this week. I mean, don't worry about Kansas City. I'm worried about Mike Evans. I'm not worried about Mike Evans is what I meant to say. I love Mike Evans this week. I think it's a very good matchup. I think he's going to line up mostly against Phillip Gaines. Phillip Gaines is a guy who I just think cannot really play. I think Marcus Peters is the guy there. He's much better. So maybe if Marcus Peters lines up against Evans, I'm worried, but I don't think that's going to happen. That's not usually how Andy Reid rolls. Okay. Chicago and the Giants. Obviously, I like Beckham. I do. But after that, I'm not really thrilled. I think this game could be an ugly game. I'll give you a little narrative game here. Don't you think Robbie Gould would like to hit a field goal to win this game? I'm just saying. This is a game that Robbie Gould would love to kick a 50-yarder to stick it in the Bears' faces. Jay Cutler, you could pay me all the money you want. I'm not starting this guy in any format. He's a dog. I can't even look there. I won't look there. I refuse to look there. I will not go with Jay Cutler, but Zach Miller, and I like Eddie Royal. I do. Jordan Howard appears to be 100%, but if he's not for any reason, watch Jeremy Langford. I think he plays a little bit more than we think he will. I'll still play Howard, but I'm not loving that start. Arizona, Minnesota, let me just give you the narrative play of the week. Larry Fitzgerald, where is he from? Indianapolis. Larry's family will be there. Larry will do everything he can to be on this field. If he goes, just watch. Carson Palmer will look for him. He will want to give him the touchdown. He'll want to make the play. I really like Larry Fitzgerald to score this week a lot. I do like David Johnson as well. People are like, ooh, the Vikings defense. Vikings defense hasn't done anything. They've done nothing in the last 5 weeks. They stink. So let's not worry about the Vikings defense. I'm worried about Stephon Diggs. So here's the thing here. I think Sam Bradford, because they have no running game, will throw a lot of quick passes. Quick. Can't you picture Patrick Peterson Roto jumping on a play, making a pick, and scoring a touchdown? I can see that pretty easily. I think the sneaky play there might be Adam Thielen, right? I think it might be Adam Thielen getting a play here. Arizona's slot guy, not very good. Peterson, we know, is great. I think Thielen is a guy that I'm taking a look at in a GPP and DraftKings. You know, he's going to cost me nothing. I might look there. I would absolutely consider it. I could see a team where I go with like Tyreek Hill and Adam Thielen and 3 cheap receivers and load up on 3 great running backs. I have no problem doing that this week. I might take my shot on that one. Miami and the Rams. So look, Todd Gurley is the Rams' arguably best player, maybe outside of Alec Ogletree. I think we can agree on that. But Case Keenum's presence was killing Todd Gurley. It's killing him. So Jared Goff, just his mere presence back there makes Gurley better. Because Jared Goff will be willing to make some risks. Is this guy good? I don't know. I hope he is. For Heat Override's sake and the Rams, I hope he's good. I want him to be good. But, I mean, I think it helps Todd Gurley because at least they're not going to load up on 8 men in the box. As for the rest of the Rams, I'm not playing any single one of them. What I need is predictability, and I can't predict the Rams because I don't know what Jared Goff is going to do. If I don't know what Jared Goff's going to do, it's a problem. For Miami, I know what they're going to do. They're going to run the ball. Jay Ajayi is going to run the ball 20 times at least. Damian Williams will play, and he'll play well. I think that this is not a great Jarvis Landry week. I like him. I don't love him. I like him. but I'm not loving him this week. I like Kenny Stills to make a play this week, maybe. Maybe Devontae Parker. I'm not sure, but I think that I think this could be a Stills week where they try to beat the Rams deep. I'm not telling you to play Stills, but if he does something well, I'll take credit for it in Monday's podcast. How about that? New England, San Francisco. New England's going to run. You'll have LeGarrette Blount. They will run the ball, and they will run it some more. You might see a little Dion Lewis, give him a little play. You might see James White. That's fine. Gronk, not healthy. I don't even know if he plays. Chris Hogan didn't do that much, but you won't need him to. You'll have a little Edelman, you'll little Martellus Bennett, and you're going to run. This is not a great Tom Brady week. For San Francisco, who knows what's going to happen? I think that they're going to put a spy on Kaepernick, and who knows? I think they're going to control Kaepernick. So Kaepernick is going to be a pocket passer this week, which is not a good life decision for him. It's a big problem. So I think that New England contains Kaepernick. I will not be playing him. I know he was a good play previously, not this week for me. Philadelphia, Seattle. I think this is an interesting matchup this week because I think a lot of people won't buy into Seattle, but I will. I think Seattle will play well. I think that Jimmy Graham will play well. I'm not sure that Dougie Baldwin will be as good, but I like CJ Prosise. I think this is a throwing team now. I think Thomas Rawls will play, but not as much this week. He will grow into playing more as the season goes on, but I still think this is a Prosise week. I'm not going to start Russell Wilson, but I would start Jimmy Graham. For Philadelphia, Ryan Matthews is a play in a standard league, not in a PPR. I just won't buy into last week. I will buy into Jordan Matthews just a little bit, not a lot. I mean, Jeremy Lane, not a great slot guy. He's okay. If there's a weakness, that's where the weakness is. It's not Richard Sherman, right? It's not the other guy. I think the weakness is Lane. So maybe this is a week that Jordan Matthews can play well. I'm not going to buy into it, though. I think this is a bad matchup for Wentz in Seattle, the 12th man. I don't like it. I like Darren Sproles. He's my favorite play there. Green Bay and Washington, and I think we may be looking back at this week and going, this is the end of Mike McCarthy. I do. I think this is possible. I think Washington wins this game. I think they dominate on line of scrimmage. I think that Jamison Crowder torches Micah Hyde. I think that Jordan Reed plays well. And I think that if Washington's defense can keep it close, Washington can win this game. And I think when Washington wins this game, people who haven't been calling for Mike McCarthy's heads will all of a sudden say, you know what? Maybe this team is getting stale. And I think the Packers are getting stale right now. And that's a big problem. What do I mean by stale? We're just seeing the same thing over and over again. I need something new. I need something new out there, and I'm not seeing it. I thought I saw something new when Ty Montgomery was in the backfield. Now you're giving me James Starks. I don't want James Starks. I want Ty Montgomery. I want Randall Cobb. I want Jordy Nelson. I want Devontae Adams. That's what I want. And I want Aaron Rodgers to find these guys for 350 yards a week. That's what I want. Big game on Sunday night. Big game. And finally, the Monday night game. The Monday night snooze fest. Brock Osweiler against the Oakland Raiders, and we'll talk about that. But in terms of what to do for your matchups, I like Michael Crabtree. I think Michael Crabtree should have a decent week this week. I think he's got the best matchup there. I don't love Amari Cooper. AJ Boye's been very good. I don't love Seth Roberts this week. I think this is a Michael Crabtree week for sure. In terms of Houston, maybe Will Fuller taking advantage of DJ Hayden. Maybe. I don't know, but I don't trust Brock Osweiler. And then the bigger question that I have is Lamar Miller healthy? I don't know. I don't know if he's healthy. So if you start to see this kid Akeem Hunt, don't be shocked. If on Monday or if on Tuesday we're talking about Akeem Hunt, there's a reason because Miller's not 100%. And DeAndre Hopkins, I like him, but I don't love him and I don't trust him. All right, time now to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. Please take a listen tonight. SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio. Adam Ronas and I will be on from 10 to 12 Eastern. And then tomorrow morning, Jason Braddock joins us from 7 to 10 a.m. Eastern. And then, of course, on Sunday night, 7 to 9 Eastern. We're on all weekend on SiriusXM Fantasy Sports Radio. And I want you to join Scout Fantasy. Go to scoutfantasy.com, enter the promo code ROTO, that's ROTO. You pay for 1 month, we'll get you 2 more for free, and we will try to get you to a fantasy football championship. And we'll try to win you money in DFS in terms of the scout scores. Use those scores to find the best value guys, get the value, get the players in, and you might just be my rich friend. All right, guys, enjoy week 11. Good luck this week. Be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!